Let's start. Here's what we're going to do. This is going to be about 30-minute session. First 15 minutes, I will answer queries on the chat box of the previous AMS session. And once we are done with some of the basic questions, then I will come to live YouTube chat, and then we will answer some questions from there. All right. So that's roughly the plan. If everyone is comfortable, let us start. I will pick up some of the questions from the previous YouTube comments. First question, can I give CFA Level 1 if I'm not enrolled in a bachelor's degree or I just enrolled in bachelor's? All right, so this question is on eligibility for CFA program. Now here is the eligibility. If you're writing Level 1, okay, your Level 1 exams have to be within 23 months from the date of your CFA exams, which basically means in India now typical graduation is of 3 years, right? So what you do is in the first year of your graduation, you start preparing for CFA Level 1. And at the beginning of the second year of your graduation, you are eligible to write the CFA Level 1 exam, okay? And then you have to finish graduation 11 months from the date of Level 2 exam. So in a simple language, for all practical purpose, if you are in a 3-year graduation, you can take your Level 1 when you're in the second year of graduation. You can take your Level 2 when you're in the third year of graduation. You can start preparation when you're in the first year of graduation. Now, what if you're not a graduate? What if you've not signed up for a graduation program? Then can I do CFA? Yes. In that case, your eligibility becomes 4,000 hours of work experience. Now, how will you get that 4,000 hours of work experience? Does it have to be finance? No. It can be any experience, but it has to be a cumulative 4,000 years. Now, 4,000 hours is roughly like 2 years, right? 2.5 years type of work experience. So that will also work. All right, next question, Marvel Studio. Can you do a weekly market view and some interesting insights about Indian companies for learning purposes? Sure, we can. I mean, see, you don't have to only ask questions on finance career. If you want to have a general conversation on markets, I'll be very happy to do that as well. I mean, and there's a lots to talk about, right? Especially last week, we had US election results, and then there was a Fed interest rate cut. And of course, some volatility in the market. So if you want to have that discussion, feel free to ask questions. I'll be very happy to discuss them. Rasmeet Singh says, I'm not a CA, don't want to do MBA. Can CFA alone take me to peak in finance? That's question number 1. The answer is yes. I mean, see, again, the thing is, we've started to look at degrees like they're some sort of a collection of nice things to have in life, right? It's like I have so many cars, I have so many watches and stuff like that. It's not that. It's very simple. You have some target in your life. You have one area of finance that you like. You reverse engineer, figure out what courses you need to reach there. And courses are basically skill set combined together. So sure, I mean, why not, right? If you're really skilled at what you do, you don't need 10,000. You don't even need CFA for that matter if you're really good. CFA just gives you that entry level opportunities. That's it. Same question, just alone CFA plus BCom. Please tell sir, there are so many CAs, IITs, IIMs in finance. How to differentiate as a normal graduate? How can we make sure to make a big career like them? So, dekho, Rasmeet, for all practical purpose, education is going to matter a lot in the first 5 to 10 years of your career. Okay. Now, when I mean education, I mean like degrees. I don't mean learning. Okay. Learning has to be lifelong, but degrees, whether it's CFA charter, whether it's FRM charter, whether you're a chartered accountant, MBA finance, rank holder, not a rank holder, no one gives a F after the initial 10 years. So how do you differentiate yourself is you be really, really good at what you do. It's that simple, right? So you pick up one micro area in finance and उसमें फिर आप champion हो, right? You're a champion in that small niche. It could be let's say writing very high quality macroeconomic research reports, but you're the best in that. And if you are, you've already distinguished yourself, right? So that's the thought process. Focus on skill building, don't obsess about gathering 10,000 degrees, and don't care if someone is an IIT, IIM or whatever, right? If you're good at what you do, you will end up doing good in your career. Meena Jewels, that's a big question. Meena says earlier the crash course fees was 8,000, now it's 22,000, reduce the fees to 10,000. Fees has a huge financial burden. This is my second attempt, level 2 attempt. So Meena, see, here is what we do, right? My level 1 crash course is from 2021 is completely free. It's sitting on YouTube for you to watch. It's going to remain there forever. 70-80% of the content is still the same, so you're always free to go and watch those crash courses. Level 2, about 30% of the crash course is already sitting on YouTube, so you can make use of that. Plus I keep on posting a lot of level 2 regular content, right? So that with crash course should do the job. As far as the product pricing is concerned, we kind of look at a lot of different data points. A lot of times how we price a product at FinTree is a function of the type of value we're trying to provide, right, in the course. So even though it's called as a crash course, if you look at the size of the content, it's almost 60-70 hours. And some of the topics that we've covered are extremely comprehensive. So that's the general thought process on how does the pricing work. All right, Darsh Jain. Rajiv, can you try and not spam? I'll come to your question in a bit. I'm just answering some questions on the YouTube comments of the previous video first. Darsh ji पूछ रहा है, I've completed BBA, I've cleared level 2 recently. I want to get into investment banking roles and M&A roles. What are the skill sets I should work on, roadmap to get good opportunities? Should I opt for, okay, then the question is on level 3 pathway. So let's answer the first question. Darsh, you're not even a graduate. You've just completed BBA and you've done level 2. That's a fantastic achievement by itself. So congratulations to you. Your question is M&A में कैसे job मिलेगा? So you're already there. What you need after this is very sharp presentation skills. Work on your PowerPoint skills. Believe it or not, in investment banking roles, your ability to make a high quality PowerPoint presentation is very important. So अच्छा PPT बनाओ, make sure you're good at financial modeling, and then just network, right? Network as much as you can and generate some opportunities. Okay, Darsh, again, thank you for your free content, which helped me clear 2 levels of CFA in the first attempt and level 2 with 90th percentile. I wanted to know if I opt for L3 with FinTree, will I get immediate placement support or will I get assistance after the exam? Darsh, I've spoken about FinTree placements in some of the previous AMA sessions. So see, we don't look at placements at FinTree from a transaction perspective. So every candidate at FinTree who has access to certain programs has a lifetime access to placements, right? Which means you're eligible to take benefit of whatever FinTree placement has to offer now in 2024. You're eligible to take benefit of them in 2034, 2044 as well, right? So these are lifetime placements. We do not monetize on placements as a part of our policy, which means there have been cases where employers have offered us money and we've politely declined because we do not want a conflict of interest. We're always representing the student body, the ones who are seeking the jobs. Your eligibility is immediate, which means once you are eligible for the placements, you're eligible to start looking for opportunities from that day. We do not promise any jobs, right? So it's purely, if you go and revisit my old video on how placements work, that will give you some idea. Krishna Agrawal, will CFA and CMT designation give me an edge in finding jobs? Krishna, so those of you who do not know, that's a good question by the way. CMT is a program on more of technical analysis, chartered market technician. I think they have 1 or 2 exams, if I'm not wrong. Is that helpful? In some cases, yes. So So will that give you a competitive edge? Maybe, right? If, for example, if some employer is looking for a single resource who can handle fundamental research and maybe also do technical, chart analysis and stuff like that, you will have competitive advantage. Do it if that really excites you, right? If you believe in technical analysis and you think it will excite you, sure. I mean, you can definitely consider it. Gaurav is asking, uh, hello, I'm level 2 candidate. I'm working in corporate accounting for last 4 years, but getting opportunity to work in financial due diligence. Will it be helpful building career in core finance? What opportunities will I have after? Gaurang, it's a good profile. Due diligence is generally, a decent profile, especially if you're moving out of accounting. Due diligence is not bad. I'm guessing you're working with one of the big four firms. So definitely a good starting point, and plenty of opportunities after that. I think a good profile with these firms would be something called as transaction advisory, right? So in the long run, if you can figure out a way to transition from get into more transaction advisory type of roles, I think that would be even better. All right, let me take some more. Sagar Pohani is asking, is the crash course included in FinTree plans or do we need to purchase it separately? If it's included, could you specify which plans offer it? Additionally, could you explain life school plan would work for student based out of Mumbai, asking for level 2. Okay. All right, Sagar. Homeschool, again, you can check on the FinTree website, but to my knowledge, homeschool and life school includes crash course. The other variant product, I think we call it essential, that does not include crash course, but please check on the website once. Now, how does the live school work? So it's fairly simple. For a live school program, you get to participate in the live webinars that I do on every weekend, right? So whether it's level 1, level 2, or level 3, I do some sessions over weekend. Typically for L1, L2, I do 2 sessions, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. You can participate them through Zoom or Teams type of webinar platform. These days we mostly on Zoom. There's a schedule, there's a weekly test. Your experience is more or less like how a live classroom experience is going to be. So hopefully that gives you some sense. Just call up the FinTree team, they'll help you get details on it. All right, next question, KP1234. Sir, after MBA Finance, I've worked in sales and ops in AMC for 4 years. I left job for preparing regulatory bodies examination. I cleared level 1 in this period, total 2 years of career break. Now I'm applying for many companies in analyst roles, finding it difficult to be shortlisted. Can you provide some suggestions to go to a job in core finance? Difficult to be shortlisted for an interview. Okay, KP1234. In general, and for everyone who's listening, quitting your existing jobs for preparing for exams generally is not a good idea. Okay, because when you are in the job market again, and if you do not have an existing opportunity with you, the potential employers will try to squeeze. At least I've seen in a lot of cases. But now that you have a 2-year break, I think getting your first chance again is going to be a little bit of challenge, KP. You haven't mentioned kaun se jagah pe which geography you're working in. If you're working in India, think like anywhere else in the world, right? Think from an employer perspective. You have 4 years of experience, then you have 2 years of break. So total 6 years since the time you started working. But the skill set and research that you would bring would be same as what a fresher will bring. So why will I pay you, 100% more and expect the same level of skills that a fresher will bring on the table? Correct? So from an employer perspective, it does not make sense. So you'll have to figure out a way to either cut down on your expectation for entry-level roles, or if you're really sure that research is what you want to do, maybe even consider starting from scratch with some internships, right? If you want to completely shift your profile from sales to research, it's going to, after 4 years, it's going to be a little bit of work upfront. Okay, I'm reaching closer. I think I have 4 or 5 doubts left here. Archit Sharma. If market is what average investor thinks, then isn't this rigged? Like you just have to peddle the narrative to average investor. The fact that if you have found something undervalued, it won't appreciate unless the average investor thinks the same. We need to spread the info of undervalued stock. So what exactly are we doing here? All right, Achit, that's a good question. See, I agree with what you're saying. In order to make money in the markets on the long side, two conditions need to meet. Number one, you find something that you believe is undervalued, right? And you buy it. And number two, the other participants in the market also needs to agree with what you're saying, hopefully over a period of time, so that the valuation goes to the normal price. Now, the problem in this thought process is, at times, what you're buying is not necessarily cheap, but everyone else in the market believes is going up, and therefore they will also keep on buying and the value will go up, right? Almost to a level, and this gets very interesting here, almost to a level where you feel like I am a fool to buy at such a high price. I'm a fool to buy at such a high price, but very soon I will find a greater fool who would buy it from me at even higher price. It's actually called a greater fool theory, right? So the whole idea with this thought process is that buying something because everyone else believes it will go up is a very risky strategy. That's what leads to bubble formation. Go and read up on tulip mania, right? Go and read up on South Sea bubble. In fact, these days I'm reading a book, a short history of financial market euphoria. Phenomenal book. It talks about all the things that we have done wrong, generating bubbles. So what's the thought process? Thought process is buy something that's cheap and hope that the rest of the market discovers it someday, right? That's a simple thinking. And what are we? And do we have to spread that information in the market? No, not necessarily. I mean, some activist fund managers do it, but if you try to push people to buy, that's a market manipulation. So that would be violation of CFA Code of Ethics and also illegal in general. So you buy and you hope that other people discover it. All right, Harsh, I've finally reached your question. Recently cleared level 3 working in Mumbai in equity research, tracking US stocks, 1.5 years of experience. Got an opportunity at a Dubai-based brokerage firm as a research analyst. They're offering 8K AD per month. Please tell me if it's okay for a level 3 candidate since I'm not getting help regarding salary. Is the pay fine or less? Harsh, it's a little less. Again, like I'm not an expert in the Dubai market salaries. But at 8,000, you're a little above, slightly above the poverty level there. I think you need about 5-6K a month to live a decent life. So 8K means you will have a little bit of bandwidth to save. But see, there are two things that are happening here for you. Number one, you're getting a break in a research market, and second, you're getting break in that particular geography, right? So you work there in that market for a few years, and if it works well, plenty of opportunities will open up. If I were you, I would probably consider taking that offer. You can always work a couple of year and a half and look for opportunities elsewhere. But yeah, what would be a fair pay? I think a fair pay would have been about 12-ish. I think after level 3, 10 to 12 would have been a decent pay. All right. Harsh, I've answered your question. Let me take something on the chat box now. Okay, I think I've answered most of the questions here. Let me come to the live chat box now. Let me take some of the questions here. Arjun, can I ask something related to your experience as in you pursued CFP? What was the motive and how it's helping you? Arjun, I'll be honest, I'll tell you why I did that, and I'll also tell you how I prepared. So basically, we were offering CFP program in FinTree. This was before FPSB US took over the Indian body, and we were struggling to find great teachers for that program. So it came to a point where I thought maybe I will have to teach for the program. But the whole idea is if you want to teach for the program, you need to be certified yourself, right? That's why I decided to take CFP. When I took the exam, they used to have something called as a challenge status, which basically means if you're a chartered accountant or CFA charter holder or I think a postgraduate, you just had to write one exam back in the day. So I just took that one exam, and I'll be honest, I did not prepare for it. I should have, but I was a little overconfident. Luckily, it worked out in my favor. Uh, I I noticed that all the exam was just time value of money and some taxation and mutual fund knowledge in general. Uh, I don't remember my score, but I don't think I might have scored really great, but I somehow managed to pass. How has that helped me? It has not helped me at all. Uh, I mean, yeah, it's just a nice fancy degree to have, on LinkedIn profile to show off a little bit. But apart from that, I wouldn't say it helped me knowledge wise or even otherwise in markets. I do pay their annual membership fee. I think it's 10, 15,000 rupees a year or something like that. And I might not pay that in the future. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Not a big fan. Okay. Next question. Shivam. I'm a CFA candidate currently studying GMAT. Uh, I cleared level 1 in May 24. How much time should I give GMAT? When should I give level 2? So I'm done with both by the end of the next year. I don't know, Shivam, for GMAT. I've had students who prepared for 3 months, 6 months. I mean, I knew one guy who took, in fact, I know a couple of people who've taken multiple attempts and it's been more than 18 months there in the cycle. One of the students managed to get 760 or 770 in GMAT. He, went to some good university. The other guy who's been preparing for last 18 months, I think he's stuck at that 700 range. He's not able to break, and especially now recently there have been some changes in GMAT format. He was telling me some time back. So I don't know about GMAT. I think what I'll suggest is you take the first mock without any preparation, see how much you score. Find a good teacher for the exam, because every exam there is some know-how part to it, right? Know-how as in kaise prepare karna hai, what areas to focus on. So find a good teacher, and they will be able to help you in terms of how to prepare for GMAT. And I want to do level 2 by the end of the next year. So maybe you can write level 2 in November, give yourself 3-4 full months to prepare for level 2, and then few months parallelly along with GMAT, something like that. Okay. Uh, what else? Let me look at the chat box. Can we do a podcast if I become one of the youngest to clear CFA FRM lol? I mean, sure, I love to know your story, Aryan. Though I am not someone who, uh, appreciates people for gathering too many certifications. Um, and I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of doing, this certificate and that certificate and gathering too many degrees. But yes, I would definitely love to know your experience. And if there is something that audience will believe in, like audience will benefit from, then sure, we'll be happy to put that on the internet. Manlo, so 10 days left for level 2 exams. What are your final tips? Sure. 10 days for level 2, क्या क्या करना है, क्या क्या नहीं करना है. So see, I think next 4 or 5 days you can keep on doing some mocks, right? So keep on writing, keep on writing. Anuj, can you stop spamming? I've seen your question. I'll answer it in a bit. Thoda sa, if you can stop spamming, please. Yeah, so I was talking about level 2. Uh, so about 4 or 5 days, maybe write mocks, practice some more questions. Last 2 or 3 days, you can do, if you want, you can do FinTree crash course. If you have access to it, use juice notes and take the exam. See, I have taken, mocks even a day before the exam. Okay. And for me, uh, the thing is that need to revise a day before so that I remember everything on the exam, and otherwise I don't feel confident. I think that's a very unnecessary feeling to have. So uh, maybe like you can consider keep on writing mocks if you feel that you have a good hold of the syllabus. But if you feel that you need a few days to revise, then maybe last 2 or 3 days you can take read through the juice notes, watch crash course if you have. That will make you a little more confident. Don't stress over it. Level 2 is like any other exam. There are going to be 11 case studies in the morning, 11 in the afternoon, 4 questions each. A lot of times, first paragraph, first MCQ format works. So actually level 2 is a level 1 exam with just 44 multiple choice questions. If you think about it, read the first paragraph, look at the first MCQ. Most of the time it will work. The exams are not that difficult, right? So don't be intimidated or scared. Keep a cool mind. And if you encounter some tough questions, just know that if it's tough for you, it's tough for everyone else, right? So, and which is not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, it's a relative system. uh, the historical pastorates will tell you that. They've been hitting 45% for a long period of time. If I just do an average, so it's if it's a tough question paper, it's okay, right? It's going to be tough for everyone else. So just make sure you have the right temperament. Don't overstress over it, and you should be good to go. All right. What else? Manish. Good morning. I'm an undergrad. I want to join FinTree for level 2. Whether live batch November has started, please do reply. Manish, we have plenty of dates for November 2025. We started one batch today, in fact, in the morning. And we will be starting one, I think, again in December. Just call up the FinTree team. They'll give you, available dates when you can start with your sessions. All right. कहाँ पे गया? Where was that spamming gentleman? Anuj Kumar. Can you clear callable, puttable bonds in short? Sure. Let me make an attempt. See, so what's the game with the bond? Very simple. It's like a FD, right? I'm buying a bond. The company says we'll pay you 10% every year for next 20 years. Good job, right? So I get my 10% no matter what the rate in the market is. Now think from company perspective. They're paying you 10% interest every year for next 20 years. Now at the time of issuing the bond, 10% was the market rate. Okay. Now what happened is 2 or 3 years down the line, the interest rate in the market has become 2%. Now the company sits and thinks that, you know what, the rate in the market is 2, but on these old bonds we have to pay 10. If only there was a way to just call back these bonds, right? And if it's a callable bond, they can actually do that. They can give you a call. They can say, hey, you know what, hey, bring those bonds back, take your 1,000 back from us. And how will they give you 1,000? They will issue new bonds at 2% coupon. That's a callable bond. So the call option is with the issuer. Issuer means the one which is selling the bonds to you, right? The company. So that's callable. What's puttable? Puttable is the same thing, but now the right is with the investor. So imagine you buy a bond which gives you 2% coupon for 20 years. You're happy because at the time of buying, 2% was the market rate. Now few years passed. Okay, and now the market rate for all other bonds is 10, but you're getting only 2. So you're disappointed. So you think that if there was a way I could give the company this bond back, get my 1,000 back, and then buy new bonds which pay me 10%, you can do that if you have a puttable bond. So the easy thing to remember, puttable bond, the right is with the investor, and investor can put the bond back with the company, the issuer. Callable bond, the right is with the issuer. They can call back the bond. Okay, if you watch my main videos, I have a fairly detailed explanation on this. Okay, VB, thank you for your 2022 video lectures, which are flowing on Telegram, helped a lot. All right, I don't know what to so to that, but sure, if it helped you, congratulations. I hope you managed to pass your exams. Priyanshu, August level 1 scored above 90th percentile. I want to achieve the same for my level 2 with subject to focus on how to make a good strategy. Priyanshu, whatever you did for level 1 will work for level 2. So just follow the same system. At FinTree, we follow LPR, learn, practice, revise. If you're a FinTree student, you already know what LPR system is. If you use the same for L1, use the same for L2. All right. Suraj, please check my chats if possible. Suraj, why don't you post the whole question, because the chat box keeps on rotating very fast. Kunal, how much accuracy in CFAI mocks is good to pass real? Very difficult to say, Kunal, because people write CFA mocks at different level of their preparation journey. But level 2, I'll tell you, a good score on the CFI mocks is about 65 to 70%. Level 1, it really varies. I've seen a very large dispersion in the scores of the candidates. So level 1 is a little difficult to comment, but level 2, I think 65-70 is a good benchmark. Generally. Rajiv, sir, can I be a FP and an analyst through CFA? I've seen a great scope there. Took that 0 level class, enjoyed. Would love if you release cash flow analysis video. Rajiv, I think I have a cash flow analysis video on YouTube. It might be a little dated. शायद 5, 6, 7, 10 साल पुराना होगा, but it might be 6, 7 year old, but it should be there. If you search FinTree channel, you should be able to find something there. And thank you for your feedback. I'm glad you like level 0. Nirav, how to get a job in our field because it's hard to get jobs in Mumbai. Nirav, I've answered that question like 20 times till date in 16 sessions on the AMA. Just dig through some of the old videos, you'll find plenty of ideas there. Suraj, if I want to meet you at your office, what would be a good time? I want to come and thank you for my level 1 exam results. Most of the credits to your CFA crash course available on YouTube. Congratulations, Suraj. I'm glad the crash course helped. This month, Suraj, I'm traveling. In fact, currently I'm in the US. I will be back in office in December 2nd week. So just call up the FinTree team, fix up a date, come down. We'll be happy to have a conversation, maybe take a picture together for 2 of us. All right, Gorang. So which cities do you think are upcoming financial hubs in India? Can you expect to get a job abroad on the basis of 3-year experience in ER plus level 1 cleared? Which countries to look for? Okay, which cities are going to be financial hubs? I don't think we have any upcoming financial hubs. I think Mumbai will keep on dominating. Mumbai is where all the money is. By the way, I say this all the time. We have some research outfits in Bangalore, of course. We have Chennai, we have Gurgaon, we have Pune, of course. But the kind of money you have in Mumbai, I don't think you have anywhere else. Any upcoming place, maybe GIFT City, right? Ahmedabad. But again, I think a lot of jobs which are moving there are not research jobs, they're operations type of jobs. So I would still bet on Mumbai. And can you get a job abroad with equity research, L1 cleared? I think it's very tough. Sitting in India, trying to get an international job, I think the only thing that will work is Middle East, mostly Dubai market. That too, if you have really strong vastas there, contacts, people. Otherwise, sitting in India applying international jobs is very, very tough. Goa, what's your view on CDMO specialty chemical for next 5 years? Goa, I was today, I took a long flight today and I was having a conversation with my father, almost 2-2.5 ghante, we were talking. And I was telling him that we were discussing about the mistakes I've made in my investing career for last 10-15 years. And one of the mistakes I've made is I've taken bets on CDMO and specialty chemical stocks because I thought I understood the business, but now in the hindsight, I know I did not understand it that well, right? So, see, it's a very complicated space, CDMO, specialty chemicals, and within that, there are people who specialize in different segments, right? So there are certain players which will specialize with certain type of molecules and certain level of manufacturing versus someone else. So it's in general, it's very difficult to predict. Uh, Overall, I'm bullish. I think CDMO as a space for next 10, 20 years, should do well, especially the chemicals as well. It's a pure consumption play. Having said that, there is a lot of cyclicality built in. So every company needs to be analyzed on individual basis. Uh, what I've decided to do going forward, the sectors, the companies that I don't understand that well, especially pharma and chemical is my strategy now. Instead of making concentrated bet on one stock, I'm going to look at a basket of maybe 2 to 3. So I diversify that idiosyncratic risk, and then look at that basket of 2 to 3 stocks as one single allocation. So that way, as I get sector exposure, hopefully some decent quality stock picking, but not exposed to the individual risk within these companies. At least the risk is minimized. Naga, I've cleared level 2 with the help of your videos. I have 14 years of retail banking experience doing MBA in Canada. What role should I be targeting as a part of my opportunity? I don't know, Naga. I don't understand Canadian market that well. I wish I had like a really nice answer for you, but I honestly don't understand that market that well. I don't know what kind of recruitment happens there. I think someone local, maybe a CFA charter holder will be able to help you, and 14 years of experience makes it a little tricky. So I'm sorry, but I don't know the answer to your question. All right. Let's see. Khushpreet, I wanna know like how you just learn your job after CFA, like you're going in private equity job. How do you know what to do? Uh, it's a great question, Kushpreet. If I could rephrase your question, you're asking after I've cleared CFA, how do I know what, or after I've cleared level 1, how do I know which industry I should go in, right? A couple of months back, I read a book which was, I think, applying design principles, applying, I have some suggestion on the chat box. I don't know how to do it. But applying some design principles in your life, okay, or your career. So this was a book by US professors who were actually teaching design principles, but they applied the same design principles to your life in terms of how do you apply them. I'll give you a crux of it. The thing is, at your age, if you're a student studying for a course and trying to imagine how private equity will be or how venture capital will be, it's going to be very tough, right? Because uh, your experience will vary drastically depending on which employer, which company, what role do they put in. So there is a lot of randomness or uncertainty there. So how do you decide in a situation like this? I have a simple solution. You have to experiment, right? So first couple of years of your career, it's okay to do different varieties of internships in different roles, so that you figure out what is it that you like and what is it that you do not. So so my recommendation to you, if you're a student now, start looking for internships. Explore, if you can get at least two to three small internships during your graduation itself, or maybe 1 or 2 years after graduation. That will give you some clarity of what to look for in career, right? That's a general thinking on how to explore. Second thing you must do is read very broadly. Okay, because reading will give you some perspective. You will also learn from other people's mistakes. So you should read a little bit, some material on venture capital, some on private equity, there's some on risk management. So when you read very broadly, it also gives you some perspective on what options are available. hopefully that gives you something to work with. All right, Mayur says, I think some of you recommending me to slow down this chat on YouTube. I think I'll try doing that for next session. Mayur says, I have not attempted mocks for level 1. I have exam on 17th. Okay, Mayur. Why are you getting me worried? What's the date today? 9th, so you have about 6 days. Okay. Do one thing, Mayur. Take at least one mock tomorrow, because I'm sure you've been fighting to finish your syllabus, right? But take at least one mock tomorrow. Trust me, like writing even one mock will improve your score on the exam drastically. So take one mock, so that will give you some feedback on what areas you need to prepare well, so you can use the rest of the time little wisely. If you need help, WhatsApp me. I'll be happy to kind of make a more customized plan for you. If you don't know how to get in touch with me, contact FinTree team. They'll and share your doubts with them, like detailed doubt, and just ask them to pass it on to me. I'll help you out. Okay. Let's take some more. Suraj. I've cleared level 1 while my second year of articleship, planning to give level 2, level 3 post-CA final attempt. Obviously, will be there with you in FinTree. Excited, I'm thinking of MBA too. Do you think it's too much? Yeah, I think it's too much. I think it's too much. I've had some students who've done that, Suraj. I've had, I remember some names as well. These guys, I think I remember one candidate who was a All India rank holder for CA. Of course, he finished his CFA. Then he went to some fancy place in Europe to do his MBA. Now he's working in investment bank there. So not a bad idea. It's just that you would be overburdened with the degrees that you have. So get your career objectives right. If you want to make a move more towards management, people skills, strategy, then I think MBA is a good fit. If you want to work in more research-oriented roles, CFA by itself is fantastic, right? So you have to have some clarity of thought in terms of what you're trying to achieve with your career. Okay. Parth, is MBA from US worth it after doing CFA and FRM? Same question. What's the career objective? Do you want to sit in front of a computer and build some sort of a model that will price an asset? Then no, MBA is not required. But do you want to go for a client meet, convince them of one particular transaction and also structure it for them? Yes, MBA will help. So again, career goals, so that MBA from US is worth it or not. Again, if you're going to go to US, you have to be in the top 10, 15 places, right? Otherwise, the curriculum is fairly mediocre considering you're already going to be a CFA charter holder. So something to keep in mind. Kitne reh gaye bhai? Let me answer. What's the time? Okay, last 3 questions. Okay, Abhishek has an urgent question, so let's do Abhishek first. Abhishek, Arjun sir, I've cleared level 2. Okay, Abhishek, wait a minute. I have my level 2 on 21st of November. I've scored 64 in the mocks. When I analyzed the mocks, I noticed all questions were difficult or expert level. I'm scared, should I defer? Very difficult for me to tell you, Abhishek. I mean, I wish I had like a binary Excel model that could predict if you're going to pass or not. It's almost like stock looks a little overpriced, but earning growth is there. What should I do, buy or sell? But let's see objectively. 64% is not a bad score. Okay, and if you're getting difficult questions wrong, do you at least understand them after you go and read the solution? Because if the answer is yes, then it's a skill acquired, it's a know-how acquired. But if you feel you don't understand them after reading the solution, you need to go back to the curriculum. That means your concepts are weak, right? So you can use this test. If you read the solution, you understand, then all that you need to do for next few days is keep on practicing as many questions as you can to find the ones you cannot solve and then spend time on them. But if you feel that, hey, after reading also I have no idea what this thing is about, then maybe you need to think if you want to differ. But see, feeling scared, Abhishek, is a very natural thing to have. It's everyone is scared. I was scared when I took level 2. I remember I was shit scared at level 1 as well. So it's okay. It's okay to be scared. At times being scared also, fear is not a bad emotion to have, right? There's a reason why we have fear centers in our brain. It's essential to our survival. So it's okay to be a little scared. Use that to your benefit. Know that finance is an industry where you have to have temperament management. You have to be cool and calm and composed when everyone else is panicking. So think of this as your test and have fun, just enjoy the experience. Okay. All right, let's see what else. Varun, can I start L2 now for May? With job, I can spare 4 hours a day. I think it will be a little aggressive. It's not impossible, Varun, but it will be a little aggressive. And why May? You might as well just do August. It's not a big gap. Right, so if I were you, I would have been a little more comfortable with August instead of May. All right, last question. Abhishek, your guidance has been, thank you, Abhishek. Congratulations to you. All right, let's do Priyanshu so that he'll give us a little rest on the chat box. Priyanshu says, I'm an engineer doing CFA. Sometimes due to others' point of view, I'm getting a feeling that I'm not doing the right thing by switching the field. As a CSC student, enjoys a good package. So what's your view on job-wise? Don't care about others, Priyanshu. Do what you like and just be good at it. If I had done what others were doing, probably I would have not. I would have missed out on a lot of good opportunities in life. Others will say what they have to say. You like finance, you will end up doing good. Plus, your computer science, so coding skills, basic background in computers plus finance is highly required today. A lot of IT professionals in India, see, look at Indian IT industry. A big chunk of IT industry's revenue in India actually comes from BFSI space, banking and financial services. So a lot of these IT people, they're working on codes, they're writing codes, they're testing codes, but they don't know what's happening, right? What's the business? So we get a lot of IT people who want to come and learn CFA 1 or 2 levels or learn FRM. So you're acquiring an additional skill. That doesn't mean you drop your computer engineering skills. It just means you have a domain knowledge on top of your skill. So you know where to apply your coding skills. I don't think there's anything wrong in that. I think you're on the right path. Okay. All right. That's it. From my side, I hope you finding these sessions useful. As I said, you can keep on posting these questions on all the questions that I could not answer today, you can post them in the comments of this video, and then I would try and answer them in the next session. I hope you're finding these sessions useful. I'm actually in a different time zone today. So this is about 2 o'clock in the night. But I'm kind of liking this. It also gives me an opportunity to talk to all of you on a weekly basis. So whatever questions you have, feel free to post them on the comments. And you can also post non-finance career related questions. If you want to talk about markets or, just have conversation on, I don't know, impact of Trump on political market, because we keep on discussing this in the CFA classes. But if you want to do this, I'll be very happy to take some of those questions as well. All right, so with this, I will take your leave. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate the time that I get from you on every Saturday. Thank you. You guys have a great weekend, and keep on learning. That's the whole idea. Enjoy the process, and I will see you all again next Saturday, same time.